Hey, you.
Hey. Oh, man. Oh, God, this is so comfy. I'm just gonna lie here and suffocate on my own vomit now.
I had a thing I wanted to tell you.
Uh-huh. This room sure looks different when it's spinning.
So, I was browsing through the used book ads in the paper when
Listen, Eileen, I'm totally excited about books right now, but
Wait, hear me out. So, I noticed this article about a war veteran from Conwell Springs who just died. I remembered that you used to live there and everything, and
oh, how I wish for joyful, blissful sleep.
and get this. His name was Joseph. Joseph Rain.
What did you just say?
You knew him, right? I knew it. I knew you'd know him.
Yeah, was my grandfather. Hey, wait a minute, I never told you where I grew up.
Oh, I might have sort of looked you up.
That is not cool, Eileen, seriously.
I just couldn't help myself.
Well, one of these days you're gonna help yourself to a restraining order. I'm just telling you this as a friend.
I know. Well, anyway, you should know that the funeral is tomorrow.
Okay.
Are you gonna go?
I don't know. Good night, Eileen.
Good night, Kathy.
Oh, God, make it stop. Looks like Eileen left a note for me here. Hi, Kat. Since it's such a long drive, I set the alarm so you won't miss the funeral. Thank me later. E. I'm so getting a new roommate. Well, I guess I should get going. I'm late enough as it is. Ugh, just my luck.
Do you know why I pulled you over, ma'am?
It's gotta be to compliment me on my driving, right?
Trying to be a smartass, ma'am? Nobody likes a smartass. Do you know how fast you were going?
Yes.
And?
Yes, sir?
A smartass playing dumb. Aren't you just a perfect blend of obnoxious?
I guess so. Look, I'm really sorry, officer. I'm in a huge hurry to this thing, and the road has been empty for miles. You know how it is.
Well, what I do know is that the speed limit here is 65. I clocked you at 77. You're getting a ticket.
Oh, to the movies? I prefer horror flicks.
Regular comedian, huh? Don't quit your day job.
Well, here we are after a 40-minute drive and a harebrained speeding ticket. God, I really need a smoke. Does anyone object? Guess not. Dead people rule.
We are gathered here today to honor a person of great integrity, a pillar of the community, and a decorated war hero. His name was Joseph Irving Rain. We all remember his warm heart, his compassion, and his eagerness to help others. His passing, while our loss, is surely heaven's gain. Now we entrust our brother Joseph to God's mercy. We commit his body to the ground, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. In sure and certain hope of the resurrection to eternal life through our Lord Jesus Christ, who will transform our frail bodies so that they may be conformed to his glorious body, who died, was buried, and rose again for us. To him be glory forever. Amen.
Oh, Kathy, you big baby, just talk to her. Excuse me, Mrs. Rain?
Have we met, Anna? You look strangely familiar.
It's me. It's Catherine.
Catherine who?
You don't recognize me? I guess it's been a while. I might be a bit taller than you remember me.
Kathy? Bless my soul. Look at you all grown up. Oh, how I wish Joseph could see you now, finally coming home.
Let's hope he can. Wherever he is.
A comforting thought, dear. Lord, how long has it been? 10 years? 15?
15 sounds about right. I was 6 when Mom took me away.
Goodness, we have some catching up to do then. I want to know everything. Listen, I'm not quite ready to leave yet, but why don't you join me at the house in half an hour?
Sure, I'd love to. I passed it on my way here. It shouldn't be too hard to find.
I'll see you soon then. I'm so glad you found your way back home. I can't wait for us to have a chance to talk.
Same here. See you in a bit.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thanks.
If you wish to find God, the Church of the Holy Trinity is always open to you.
Is that so?
Here, have a brochure. It's never too late to turn away from a path of sin.
No sin. But what am I supposed to do for fun?
Behind those words is a deep wound, a desire to belong. If you let him, Christ can fill that void.
Ugh, please don't make Christ fill my void. I'm totally not up for that.
With the crude facade of a lost soul, I'll pray for you. I wish you comfort in this time of grief.
Grandma, anybody home? A wedding photo from when my grandparents married. They look younger than I am now. Things have sure changed. It's a photo of this very farm from way back. It says June.
Oh, hello, dear. I was just wondering what took you so long.
Sorry, I couldn't resist taking that old wheelchair for a spin. Oh, don't give me that look. I put it back.
You haven't changed one bit. Always kidding around, just like when you were little. Come, have a seat. We have so much to talk about. So, now, tell me about your life in the city.
Oh, there's not much to tell. I'm going to school for journalism. It's my 2nd year. I ride a motorcycle in case you missed it there out front.
Ah, that's right. Just like your father.
Yeah, I suppose.
I must ask, have you heard anything from your father? Anything at all?
No, nothing since he bailed way back then.
I expected as much. He disappeared without a trace. No matter, that's ancient history. How's Sharon, then?
Mom is... I had her committed to a place where she could get some real help. I just couldn't take it anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that. In spite of everything that happened when she took you away.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry I didn't visit sooner, Grandma. Mom, she told me all these horrible lies about you and Grandpa. When I was old enough to understand what she was doing, I felt like it was much too late.
It wasn't your fault, dear. You were a child. I'm just happy that you're here now.
Me too. So, what about you? How have you been doing all these years?
I've been lonely ever since the accident. There's no denying that.
What accident?
Goodness gracious. Of course you don't know. She took you away before it all happened.
Don't know what.
I will never forget that dreadful day. August 16th, 1981. It was the middle of the night when Sheriff Truman knocked on our door. He had Joseph with him. I couldn't even recognize Joseph at first, all dirty and wet with an awful blank stare on his face, like his soul had been ripped from his body. Since that day, he never spoke a word, forever confined to that blasted wheelchair.
Really? For all this time? I had no idea.
It came as a shock to all of us.
That's horrible, Grandma. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, dear.
Why do you think Grandpa suddenly left that night in 81?
I haven't the faintest idea. He acted very peculiar not long before it happened, disappearing for hours at a time. At first, I even suspected he was having an affair. When I asked him about it, he just said he was chasing old demons. Must have had something to do with the war.
Maybe it was post-traumatic stress disorder? Grandpa always had a hard time showing weakness.
I don't know, dear. I'm just speculating. I didn't think too much of it at the time. Joseph was a man of few words. I'm sure he just didn't wish to burden me with it, whatever it was.
What did the doctors have to say about Grandpa's condition?
Persistent vegetative state. That's what they call it. I've heard it all by now. One doctor said it was a stroke. Another claimed it was a seizure. The third hack tried to sell it off as a severe infection. It's all a load of tripe. I had an MRI performed on Joseph. It's one of those state-of-the-art head scans.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yes, well, according to the scan, his brain was completely intact. They thought it was a technical problem at the time, some kind of glitch, but the result was the same after 3 different scans on 3 different machines. Eventually, they had to confess that they simply had no credible explanation for the state he was in.
And this injury just happened to occur on the very same night he mysteriously disappears?
Indeed. I refuse to believe it was a coincidence.
What did Sheriff Truman have to say about the matter?
Not much. He said they simply found Joseph in that condition on the outskirts of town. The sheriff was convinced there was some kind of foul play involved, but the investigation turned up nothing. He later said that he was sorry, but that he was forced to close the case.
You know, I could try to find out more about this.
You're welcome to try, dear. Some kind of closure would mean the world to me.
Okay, I think I'll head over to the sheriff's station for a little chat then. Would be nice to witness police doing some actual police service for once.
Sure, you go ahead. Let me know if I can be of any more help.
What do you think about this church, Grandma?
They seem harmless to me, but they can be a bit pushy at times.
Huh, you could say that. Handing out pamphlets at funerals is in pretty bad taste.
Awfully strange behavior for a priest, I'll give you that.
See you later, Gramps.
Take care, dear.
Grandpa in his Air Force uniform. Looks to be in his early... Some woman dressed fancy. I'm not sure how I'm related to her, but she has my hair. That's my great-grandfather, Eric Wren. I never met him. They changed the spelling to Rain after he died, I think. Planes? Hi.
Hello.
Do I have to commit a crime to get your attention? Because I seriously will.
Ma'am, I'm really quite busy at the moment. Hey, wait. I know you.
I'm pretty sure you don't.
Yes, I do. You're Kathy. Kathy Rain.
My reputation precedes me, in a kind of but not totally creepy way.
Aw, come on. It's me, Lenny. Lenny Marks.
I'm drawing a blank.
Really? You don't remember us playing when we were little kids?
Not really. Sorry, buddy.
Darn. Well, that's a bummer. Anyway, what can I do for you today?
What's your opinion on this church?
I think it's a nice enough church. Why?
I don't know. The priest seemed odd. Kinda pushy.
Yeah, I get your point. But I know the guy. He's harmless.
If you say so. I wanted to ask if you know anything about my grandfather's accident.
I really don't know much beyond the rumors. The sheriff may have more information, but even he probably doesn't know anything that isn't in the report. It happened before either of us worked here.
Okay, I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff then.
Sure thing. His office is to your right.
Well, gotta go.
Good luck. Oh, and have a complimentary cup of joe if you want.
Ah, maybe later. Thanks.
Sure thing. See ya.
Oh crap, it's you again.
The smartass returns. You have some more crimes to confess?
Oh, you know, maybe a felony or two.
Wouldn't be surprised. Look, I'm busy here. What do you want?
I just have a few questions, that's all.
Fine. Go ahead.
What's your opinion on this church?
It's a fine church. I go there myself every Sunday.
Do you know what happened to Joseph Rain in '81?
He had a stroke in the woods, that's what happened.
If that's all there is, why would Sheriff Truman open an investigation?
It was just standard procedure. A general occurrence report always has to be filed.
I see. Did you know him at all?
No, I haven't been in town for long. Man sure has one hell of a reputation, though. It's been over a decade since he was put in that wheelchair, and people still talk about the man he used to be. It's like he was a cult leader or something.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
Could be, but you know what they say. Things too good to be true usually are.
Could I have a look at that report?
Absolutely not. They're official police documents.
Why not? I thought filed police reports are public record.
Not in this state, they ain't.
Aw, come on, Sheriff. What's the big deal? It was a long time ago. It would make this girl very, very happy.
Are you trying to use flirtation on an officer of the law? Oh, that shit may work on numbnuts like Lenny, but I got work to do.
But I'm family. Doesn't that count for something?
You consider yourself family? I've never even seen you before in this town.
It's complicated.
Guess what's complicated? Not to mention illegal. Handing out evidence to anyone who asks for it.
Lenny, a little help here? Don't you agree that he's taking by the book too far?
Well, boss, she is his granddaughter, really. I don't think it's any...
Don't you think I know that? There are rules. Am I the only one in here who cares about the law?
Too much coffee? Try not to pop a vein.
Do you want to see the inside of a cell?
Oh, cuff me, officer. Spare me the torment of your rhetorical questions and veiled threats.
Just follow the rules like everyone else. I've had enough of this nonsense.
Fine. Just your standard coffee maker. What should I do with it? I guess I could mess around with this, but only as a last resort. I should make sure that the...
Hey, that's a restricted area.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess I could mess around with this, but only as a last resort. Hey, Lenny.
Hello, Kathy. What's up?
Hey, I need to see the police report from '81 when my grandfather was found by the old sheriff.
We only keep reports filed after 1990 in here, so I'd have to go check the archives in the other room. If it was up to me, I'd be happy to go take a look, but you heard the sheriff before. I'm sorry, but I can't help you unless he approves it.
Ugh, fine. Well, gotta go.
See ya.
All right, let's see how this plays out.
Lenny, quit loitering and make some goddamn coffee.
10-4, coming right up.
Oh, it better be.
Hey,
What? I can't hear you. Thanks. That was getting annoying.
hey.
Hi there.
So, why'd they put you in that cell?
It's all just a big misunderstanding.
Is that so?
Yeah, I didn't mean to steal anything. I was just using my pockets to move the beer to the checkout.
That's the worst excuse I have ever heard.
For your information, I happen to have a deadly fear of shopping carts.
I take my last statement back. This excuse is even worse.
Hey, it wasn't your father who was killed by a shopping cart when you were 8.
I sure hope not.
To be fair, mine wasn't either. It was just Uncle Bob. But that doesn't mean it was any less traumatic, mind you. To this day, I still get nervous breakdowns in grocery stores.
I think I've heard enough, buddy.
You're right. We should stop before the flashbacks begin.
Okay, gotta go.
See ya!
Okay. These must be the archived police reports that Lenny was talking about. Time to start digging. Yes, found it. August 16th, 1981. Let's have a look. I'm gonna have to get my hands on that recorder. Locker number 5 is right there, but it requires a key. Hey,
Hi there.
you need to keep the blonde cop out there busy for a while.
I do?
$10 says you do.
I'd say my services in this matter are worth at least $20.
9,
15.
8,
Fine, 10.
7.
Deal.
Good.
So, what am I doing again?
Distract that young cop in the lobby. I don't care how you do it, as long as you keep him occupied for a while.
Okay then, let me know when.
Will do. Okay, gotta go.
See ya.
Hey, the jail is off limits. You shouldn't be in there.
Oh, sorry. I just heard someone yelling. I think that guy in the cell needs some help.
Ah, what now?
Okay, I have to make this quick. Okay, let's find the key to locker number 5. Got it. Time to waste more coffee, I guess.
Lenny! Coffee!
Jeez Louise, already? I'll take care of it, boss.
All right, got it.
Note to self. Remember, the perfect bouquet consists of 3 red roses, a blue violet, and 2 yellow tulips. I've been working on my research in the attic at night. I just don't want her to worry. She has enough to think about with everything that's been going on lately. With Sharon and Kathy. Anyway, I'm getting close to finding the source. I have a promising new theory. It should be ready for a test soon.
Hey, Kathy, wait.
What?
Do you eat foot? I mean, food?
Absolutely not. I feed on human misery. Relax, Lenny. Yes, I do eat food.
Oh, well, great. Can I buy you food sometime? And also buy food for me? And then maybe we could eat the food together?
I'm really busy right now. Maybe later.
Oh, okay. See ya.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
Would you mind if I took a look in the attic?
I suppose it would do no harm. Come with me.
Thanks, Grandma.
You're welcome, dear. Be careful now.
Nothing. The bulb must be burned out. Free light bulb. Score! There we go. Mr. Bear! How did you get all the way up there? Good idea. You just keep watch. I'll do the searching. A thick book about math. Yes! Let's see what's in here. There were 2 pictures, a newspaper clipping, a key, and a tape inside. Oh, and a single copper penny too, for some reason. It's the penny I found in the briefcase. Looks like it was minted the same year I was born. Grandpa and me, we had this game where he would hide pennies around the house and I would go on a treasure hunt. Never in the attic, though. I thought it was too scary up there. Tragic drowning in Conwell Springs. In early morning on Sunday the 14th, a teenage girl found dead near Conwell Lake. The girl is survived by her mother, father, and younger brother. The funeral service will be held at Conwell Cemetery on the 21st of July. The notice is dated July 15th, 1975. Tragic story. I wonder why Grandpa saved this. Grandpa in uniform with 2 other men. Something is handwritten on the back. Flight training, McConnell Air Force Base, 1941. Looks overexposed. I can't make much out. I think I see trees in the background, but most of the picture is just bright white. There's probably some way to enhance this back at school. I'll figure it out tomorrow when I'm back. Looks there's the tape I found in the briefcase, labeled answering machine. It should play fine in Mr. Dicto.
You've reached the Rain residence. Leave a message after the beep.
Hello, Joseph, Mrs. Rain. It's me, Charles. I thought I'd give you a call. Erica just had her firstborn. It's a boy. Thankfully, he looks nothing like his father. Listen, I was thinking maybe you'd like to come and visit. And what about your little Kathy? Maybe she wants to see the baby. Well, anyways, I hope to see you soon. All the best. Bye.
You people make me sick. We're never coming back. Don't call, don't write. If you ever try to contact us, I will call the police.
Joseph, you there? It's me, Cocky. It happened to me too. You're the only one I trust now. Just call me back as soon as you can.
I wonder who this Cocky is.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
Do you know anything about a young girl drowning around here?
Oh, yes. It was the saddest thing. She was only 16. We never really knew the family. They preferred to keep to themselves.
Do you remember the name of the girl or her family?
I'm awfully sorry, dear. I just can't recall.
That's okay, Grandma. I was just wondering why Grandpa would have wanted to save this.
Joseph was always affected by the tragedy of others. Perhaps he wanted to do something for the family. In any case, he didn't speak to me about it.
Can you tell me anything about McConnell Air Force Base?
It's not very far from Conwell Springs. Joseph was stationed there for some time during the war. I believe they're still training young pilots there today.
So, when did Grandpa enlist in the Air Force?
Oh, it was barely past the honeymoon when Joseph left to fight in that terrible war, together with his best friend Charles and my brother Andrew. Those were nerve-wracking years. I was so worried I thought I would burst. Every short visit from Joseph was a joy, but he kept going back to the front, to my great dismay. When I told Joseph about being pregnant with your father, he finally realized that enough was enough. He had done his duty. Shortly thereafter, he returned to a quiet farmer's life in this very house, helping your great-grandfather with the crops, until he passed.
Does the nickname Cocky mean anything to you?
Sounds vaguely familiar. It reminds me of the aviator call signs Joseph and his friends gave one another. Joseph was vigilante. I can't count the number of times he got into trouble for breaking the rules. To this day, I have no idea how he always managed to land on his feet.
Must be hereditary, given the things I've gotten away with. Every time I wake up, I am genuinely surprised that I'm not in jail.
I'm sure it's not that bad, dear.
But to get back to the subject, you don't have any idea of who this Cocky is?
I'm afraid not, but the Air Force might be a good place to start.
Grams, can you tell me anything about this picture?
It looks awfully bright. Perhaps something was wrong with the camera.
Yeah, maybe. I should try to figure something out tomorrow at the university. Look at this photo I found in the locked briefcase.
Goodness, I haven't seen that picture in years. This was taken when Joseph was stationed at McConnell Air Force Base. That's him right there on the left.
What about the other two?
I don't remember the name of the smiling man in the back. The gentleman on the right was Joseph's best friend, Charles Wade.
What can you tell me about Charles Wade?
Well, I do know he has made quite a name for himself since he and Joseph went to war together. Apparently, he came up with some brilliant piece of engineering for the airplanes. They use it everywhere now.
Any idea how to get in touch with him?
I'm afraid not, dear. I haven't seen him for years. He and Joseph grew apart before you were born.
Any particular reason for that?
Oh, not that I know of.
Do you know anything about...
Not much, dear. We never really knew the
Do you remember...
Let me think. I'm awfully sorry, dear.
That's quite all right, Grandma. I was just...
Joseph, in any...
Okay. Does this...
I'm afraid not, dear.
Do you recognize this key, Grandma? I found it in the attic.
I'm afraid not, dear.
See you later, Grams.
Take care, dear.
All right, got it. Nope, couldn't find... Damn, no Charles Wade in here. Was worth a shot, but being rich and famous and all, I guess he's got a hidden number. No hit for Wade Industries either, but it was kind of a long shot for them to have an office in this small county anyway. I should try to get a hold of him some other way.
McConnell Air Force Base, how can I help you?
Hi, I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
Do you know anything about what happened to Joseph Rain in '81?
I know that he was no longer stationed here at the base at that time. He'd left the Air Force decades earlier. But as a Conwell Springs citizen, sure, I've heard the rumors just like everybody else. How he was found by the sheriff all messed up, walking out of the woods with some kind of unexplained brain damage.
Any theory as to what he was doing out there?
I'm afraid not, ma'am. But I'm positive that it had nothing to do with this base or our operations here.
Okay, what can you tell me about his service at McConnell?
Well, Joseph Rain is a legend around here. His pile of medals weighs more than my car. I was fortunate enough to meet him before he suffered his injury, and I must say, what an inspiring man. I'm positive that he would have made General if he'd stuck around.
Any idea of why he quit? He looks so happy in the pictures from the war.
Oh, your family, ma'am?
Granddaughter.
Well, then I'm sorry for your loss. I heard about his recent passing.
Appreciate it, buddy. So, about him quitting.
I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but some say the war broke him. PTSD. Me? I don't think so. When I met him, he had this aura about him, like he wasn't afraid of anything. Maybe it was just guilt. He ended a lot of lives, but that's just me speculating.
Gotcha. Thanks for the thoughts. I don't see a reason. What can you tell me about McConnell Air Force Base?
This is one of the oldest Air Force bases in the U.S., established during World War I. The main purpose of it is to train fighter pilots. The McConnell Flight School is well-renowned all around the country. In the late 80s, the school started accepting a limited number of civilian applicants due to the high demand. Some of the most famous dogfighters in U.S. history, such as Ethan Fireball Jenkins, Joseph Vigilante Rain, and Brett Savior Myers trained at this very base. Charles Wade, the great industrialist, did too. Some claim that many of his revolutionary ideas came from the former chief mechanic here, the late Niles Bloom.
Interesting. Thanks for the history lesson. Do you recognize the aviator call sign, Cocky?
Afraid not, ma'am. I know all the call signs here, and I'm positive it's not one of them.
This isn't current, though. It might have been used as early as World War II.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We don't keep any official records of call signs. The only option I can think of is to get a hold of somebody who was around back then.
Any suggestions?
The only person I can think of who is still alive would be Charles Wade.
The billionaire? He was stationed at McConnell?
He was, up until the point when he founded Wade Industries in the 60s.
I'm trying to get a hold of Charles Wade. Would you happen to know how to reach him?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but Charles Wade is a public figure. He has explicitly asked us not to provide his contact details to anyone.
Is there any way you could make an exception? I really need to talk to Mr. Wade.
Oh, can do. I can't really help you out unless you have some sort of official business.
But what if it was a matter of life and death?
Ma'am, if you're in a life-threatening situation, I suggest you call 911.
I do have official business. I'm Deputy Reagan. I'm calling from Conwell Springs Sheriff's Department.
Nice try. Do you know what caller ID is? You can clearly see that you're not calling from the station. Goodbye.
Damn, I can't pull that off if I call from here. All right, this is the right date. Looks like her name was Lily Myers. I should try to get a hold of her family. I wonder what that kid is doing here all alone. Hey, kid.
Hi yourself.
What are you doing?
None of your business.
Huh, I like you, kid. You're not here alone, right? Where's your mom?
Oh, she's around.
I don't see her.
You must be blind or something.
I'll go look for your mom, okay? Don't go anywhere.
Whatever.
I shouldn't leave while that kid is alone. Kid? Guess he found his mom. Uh-oh. I think it's time to switch to decaf. Okay, there's gotta be something in here about Lily Myers' death. Okay, what do we have here? Looks like somebody did a Virginia Woolf. I wonder if there's more to it.
McConnell Air Force Base. How can I help you?
Hi. I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
I'm trying to get a hold of Charles Wade. Would you happen to know how to reach him?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but Charles Wade is a public figure. He has explicitly asked us not to provide his contact details to anyone.
Is there any way you could make an exception? I really need to talk to Mr. Wade.
Oh, can do. I can't really help you out unless you have some sort of official business.
I do have official business. I'm Deputy Reagan. I'm calling from Conwell Springs Sheriff's Department.
I can see that you're actually calling from the station. You say you're a cop? You don't sound like a cop.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? It's just because I'm a woman, right? Women don't belong in law enforcement? Is that what you're saying? That's so sexist.
Now that's hardly what...
Do you have any idea what I have to go through every day? Nobody takes me seriously. The dirty looks, the sexual innuendos,
Relax, okay? I'll check the files. It's 555-7641.
Thanks, buddy.
Wade residence?
Hi, this is Kathy Rain. I'm calling for Charles Wade.
He doesn't live here anymore. What's this about? What do you want with my father?
I'd just like to have a quick word with Mr. Wade. It's about my grandfather, Joseph Rain.
You're 20 years late, girl. My father has neither time nor energy to deal with you people.
But...
This conversation is over. Unless my father explicitly says he wants to talk to you, it's not going to happen.
What a stuck-up, overclass witch. Well, she hasn't heard the last from me. I'm going to talk to that old man one way or another.
Oh, hello, dear.
There are a few things I need to ask you, Grandma.
Very well, dear.
I found out that the drowned girl's name was Lily Myers. Ring a bell?
Oh, yes. Oh, how could I forget? Sue, Jack, and their children, Lily and Nathan.
Do they still live around here?
Mother and son do. I see them in town from time to time. They live somewhere near the lake.
But not the father?
No. He disappeared not long after Lily took her own life.
I see. Do you know how I can reach the family?
Not really, dear. Like I said, they tend to keep to themselves.
I don't see a reason. See you later, Grams.
Take care.
All right, found an address. There's a ton of somebody around here.
Yes? Can I help you?
I hope so. My name's Rain. Kathy Rain.
Joseph's girl. The one they sent away.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, what do you want?
I had some questions about your daughter, Lily.
Well, you know what? I don't have any answers, girl. Lily was precious, special. Lily died. That's all there is to it.
My grandfather came to see you, right? To ask about her?
Maybe he did. I don't see how that's any of your business.
I'm not asking for much, Mrs. Myers.
Then clearly you have no idea what it's like losing a child. Goodbye. Huh, you again.
Care to join me for a smoke, Mrs. Myers?
Well, I'm gonna have to think about it. Well, I suppose one smoke can't hurt.
And that's when he realized it was his own bong.
Oh my, oh, now that was a good one. You know what, Kathy? You're okay. Sorry for being such a cranky old bag before. I get a short fuse when I run out of smokes.
Now, that's an understatement. Good thing I had my morning smoke, otherwise we would have had a fist fight on our hands.
Oh, it's getting chilly. Why don't we head inside? Now, this here's my boy Nathan. He's special. Nate, be polite and say hello to Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi there, big guy. What you doing, big fella?
Drawing.
Oh yeah? What are you drawing?
The nice red man.
You mean Santa?
No, the nice red man.
Now, what did I say about raising your voice at strangers?
Sorry, Mama. I'll be nice. The red man is nice.
Don't mind him. He gets so absorbed in his drawings thanks to that wild imagination of his, just like his sister. So you wanted to ask me about Lily?
Yeah. Do you mind telling me what happened when my grandfather came to see you?
Well, he knocked on my door a few years after Lily had passed away. I didn't know Joseph too well myself, but I'd heard of him and the good he'd done for the other people around here. So I let him in. He started asking a bunch of questions about Lily, like if I was absolutely sure that it was suicide.
And what did you say?
The truth. That she was depressed and had been for a long time. I had no doubts about what happened.
All right. Anything else?
Well, he was weirdly curious about her paintings.
Lily painted?
Yep, that's one of hers right there on the wall.
I see, it's beautiful. So, in what way was he curious?
He asked if Lily had painted anything odd or strange. I didn't really get what he was after, but I let him have a look at her work. He spent some time browsing through them, and then he wrote something down on a piece of paper, thanked me, and left.
Huh. Any idea of what he could have seen?
Not really. I had the paintings all lined up. Could have been any of them.
Would you mind showing them to me?
Well, I would if I could, but this is the only one I have left. I sold the rest many years ago to this weirdo art collector.
So, tell me about Lily's art.
It used to be about cheerful things, landscapes, animals, bright colors. But as she drifted further into depression, she started painting horrible things, death and decay. And the last few pieces look like something out of a nightmare.
That's awful. Did Lily ever get any recognition for her art?
Not really. Except from the guy I told you about who bought most of her paintings.
Tell me about this art collector person.
Rich, fancy looking, in his 50s or thereabouts. I'd say he'd be around 70 now if he's still alive. He knocked on that door one day with a wad of cash in his hand. $5,000. He wanted everything that Lily so much as touched with a brush.
Huh. Did he say why?
Nope, but I got the feeling that most of that dough was paid so he could avoid any questions. I took the money. I still had Nathan to support.
Did the stranger give you his name?
No. Well, his face was far from forgettable, though. Big nose, bright blue eyes, looked black Irish. He had a thick black mane, turning gray, no beard.
All right, Sue. Thanks. Hey, Sue, do you recognize any of these men?
Well, there's Joseph Rain. Always so handsome. I had such a crush on him back in the day. And... no way. That's him. The man who bought the paintings. He's much younger here, but there's no mistaking that hair and nose.
Are you sure?
I'm positive, little cat. That's the guy who walked into this cabin with $5,000 in cash.
That's very helpful, Sue. Thanks. Ugh. Another question for the elusive Mr. Wade. Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather? How he ended up in a wheelchair?
Stroke, wasn't it? At least that's what I heard.
Not necessarily. There are some divided opinions about it.
Now that I think about it, that whole ordeal happened to him not long after he came here.
How long?
A week, maybe, at the most.
Mind telling me what Lily was like, Sue?
I'd be happy to. She was Nathan's older sister by 2 years. Lily was like any girl growing up, normal, happy, talking about school, boys, and whatnot. And she and Nathan were close back then, always playing together in the woods. When Lily was 10, she started drawing, always doodling on just about anything she could get her hands on. We didn't have much, really, and so she used what she could. Once I even caught her scribbling on toilet paper. On her 12th birthday, we gave Lily a thick sketchbook with an assortment of pencils. She was ecstatic. That was the happiest I'd ever seen her. From that day, drawing became her life. Eventually, her art teacher at school helped her to get started with oil painting. When Lily was 15, something changed. At first, I thought it was just usual teen angst, but no, this was something different. She started going out, disappearing for long periods of time. She locked herself in when painting. She never used to do that. I tried everything. Counseling, support groups, antidepressants. Nothing worked. About a year later, she just gave up. And, well, you know the rest.
I'm sorry, Sue. That must have been unimaginable.
Thanks, darling, but it's been a while now. I've learned to live with it.
You know, I've been through something similar. My mom. She never killed herself, but, well, she came close.
That's a damn shame. I heard about her problems. Is she doing any better now?
Better isn't the word I'd use. I had to put her in a place where she couldn't hurt anyone, including herself.
Yeah, life ain't easy for any of us. Flip a few coins along the way, and I could have ended up somewhere like that myself. I'm awfully sorry things went that way for you, Ma. Anyhow.
Thanks, Sue. Taking it one step at a time.
I don't need to ask her about that. I don't need... So, Charles Wade was the one who bought those paintings from you?
Yep, like I said, he gave me $5,000 for Lily's paintings. If you want to know his reasons, you're gonna have to ask the man himself.
What do you do to support the two of you?
A little bit of this and that. Got me some cash saved up, too. Nathan helps out when he can.
What happened to your husband, if you don't mind me asking?
You could say he didn't quite cope as well as I did with what happened to Lily. He got himself a death wish after what happened to her, started drinking and getting into all sorts of trouble. 5 years left for him in the joint now, been there for 15.
Man, that must be rough for you.
Oh, we're doing just fine without him, aren't we, Nate?
Mama takes good care of us.
Mama sure does.
What do you think about this church?
It's a good church. I go there from time to time. I bring Nate, too, when that boy needs the fear of God put into him.
I'd rather just ask her about her daughter. I think I'm gonna head off now.
Sure thing, little cat. Come back anytime.
It's getting late. I should head back to the city. Hey, you're still up.
I was wondering when you'd show up. How did it go?
Long story. I found out about some stuff that happened when I was a kid.
Wow, what a mystery. So what's the plan now?
Some shut-eye is the plan. I'm about to pass out.
Oh, I couldn't possibly sleep now. I'm way too excited.
Well, that makes one of us. Nighty.
Good night, Cat. Hey, Kathy, wake up!
You are so lucky there are no sharp objects near this bed.
Guess what? I got an idea.
Please tell me it involves you taking a sabbatical.
Haha, so you found all this evidence, right? Pictures, tapes, and stuff?
I guess. Why?
Well, as you know, I have a computer. And I know this hacker guy, Dave, and... Oh, never mind. I'll just write you a note. You go back to sleep.
Seriously, Eileen, sometimes I just marvel at how your brain works.
I know, right?
Are you sure you want to do this, Catherine? You still have time, if you think there's any chance you would change your mind.
I'm sure, Doctor. Just get it out of me. But please, don't tell my mom.
I'm sorry, but we have to do that. It's the law.
It's none of her business. It's my choice to make. I have enough shit going on with her already. This would just add fuel to the fire.
I'm afraid there's nothing I can do.
Fine. Let's just get this over with then.
Right this way.
Ugh, I hate that dream. I guess Eileen went to class. I probably should too. Nah,